The Hidden Talent Circus. A Fairwood Forest story. Disaster! Bumble the bear cub had just taken the most spectacular fall in the history of the Fairwood Forest Circus. But what he didn't know yet was that this clumsiness was going to save the biggest show of his life. It all started when the Grand Circus posters took over Fairwood Forest. Bumble, a little bear cub with big dreams, had always wanted to be a circus artist. This time, it's my chance. He told himself, his heart pounding with hope. For days, Bumble trained like crazy. Acrobatics, juggling, balancing. But disaster! With every try, he would stumble, fall, and get his paws tangled. Come on, this time will be the one, he bravely repeated to himself, getting up for the 100th time. Bumble, pleaded Leo, Pip, and Zippy, are you sure the circus is for you? They loved him but worried about seeing him so clumsy. I know I can do it, Bumble replied with determination. Nothing could extinguish his dream. And now, look! Bumble had just humiliated himself in front of all of Fairwood Forest. The laughter was still ringing in his ears as he fled the big top, his heart broken. I'm a joke, he sobbed. I'll never be a real artist. But while Bumble was crying, Rival the Fox was preparing his revenge. He had been rejected by the circus too, and decided, if I can't be in it, then no one will enjoy it. That night, he sabotaged everything, ropes, the track, props. The night of the big show arrived. The big top was packed. But from the very first act, total disaster. Acro the squirrel fell when his rope broke. Tightrope walker slipped on the greased track. Juggler messed up everything with his rigged balls. The show was collapsing. Boss Lion, the director, was desperate. I don't get it, he stammered, tears in his eyes. In the audience, animals started leaving, disappointed and grumbling. The dream of an entire season was dying right before their eyes. That's when Stella had the idea of the century. Hurry! She yelled to Leo, Pip, and Zippy, we have to go find Bumble. He's the only one who can save this show. What? But he's so clumsy. Exactly. That's his talent. They found Bumble hiding in his den. The circus needs you. Never, he cried. Did you see what happened? I'll just make a fool of myself again. He was shaking with terror at the thought of facing all those mocking stares again. Bumble, Stella said gently, did you see their faces when you fell? They weren't laughing at you, but with joy. In a world that is sometimes sad, making people laugh is the greatest talent of all. Those words touched the cub's heart. Bumble arrived at the big top just as everything was falling apart. The audience was sulking, the artists were hurt, Boss Lion was crying. Boss Lion, he said in a trembling but determined voice, can I try to save your show? And miracle! Bumble entered the ring and did exactly what he usually did. He tripped, rolled, and bounced by accident. But this time, instead of being embarrassed, he smiled at the audience and kept going with enthusiasm. His clumsiness was becoming a hilarious act. The audience burst out laughing. But not with mockery, with pure happiness. Bumble kept up the accidental gags, now on purpose, balls falling on his head, tangled paws, adorable chaos. The atmosphere in the big top completely changed. Encouraged, Bumble even invited the audience, come on, everyone try to do what I do. Soon, dozens of animals climbed onto the track, tripping and laughing together. The circus had become a gigantic party of shared joy. In the shadows, Rival watched bitterly. His sabotage had ironically created the best show in Fairwood Forest. Feeling lonelier than ever, he started to walk away, his heart heavy with regret. But Bumble spotted Rival's sad silhouette. Hey you! Come join us. The more the merrier. This invitation shook Rival. How could Bumble be so generous after what he had done? Touched by so much kindness, Rival burst into tears. I have to tell the truth. I was the one who sabotaged the show. I was jealous. But instead of anger, Bumble showed even more compassion. See? You were already part of the show without even knowing it. Boss Lion, moved to tears, stepped forward solemnly. Bumble, you are officially our new clown. You turned a disaster into a miracle. Then to rival, and you, if you promise to be honest, you'll get a second chance. The show ended with the biggest finale in history. All the animals of Fairwood Forest on the track, laughing, dancing, celebrating. Bumble, in the center, glowed with happiness. He had found his place, not despite his clumsiness, but because of it. A few weeks later, Bumble was traveling through the forests with the Grand Circus. Everywhere he went, he brought laughter and happiness. He had learned the best lesson: what we think is our flaw can become our greatest strength. Every evening, under the stars, Bumble smiled, thinking of his friends in Fairwood Forest who had taught him that true friendship accepts our differences. In the distance, Stella twinkled softly, reminding him that all dreams can come true, sometimes differently than we imagined.
Enjoyed the tale? Give us a thumbs up. See you soon.